Hello my friends, I'm Sarah. Welcome to Grace in My Space. Today we are going to focus on kitchen organization, kind of, but more along the lines of, do you like that? How to make a functional and beautiful kitchen. I got some things up my sleeve. Now this is one of the main areas that we're going to be focusing on today. This is like my workstation corner. I have my utensils for the stove right next to it. I have the garlic basket, I have the onion bowl, I got all my cutting boards, I got the butter and the oils and all the things. And it's pretty functional already, even though it kind of looks like it's decorated. But I'm going to make it more functional because I've begun to enjoy baking bread, which we're going to also do today. And one of the things that you need constantly are just your pantry staples. And so rather than running back and forth to all my different cupboards that I have, I kind of want to make them into decor, but have it be, you know, on the counter, at hand at all times. And I want to be able to store like a 5-pound bag of flour in one jar, so I'm not constantly having like half-open bags of flour getting everywhere inside my pantry cupboards. I just want to make it better, and that's what we're going to do. Traditionally, I've always kept this shelf more decor focused and then done my functional things underneath, but we'll see what happens today. And then we're gonna tackle pantry organization because I find that it is extremely helpful to organize your pantry in a specific way that works for you. So I'll show you what has worked for me and we can go from there. Now the first step to getting my pantry staples out of my pantry and onto the counter is finding beautiful jars to store them in. I came across some absolutely wonderful jars. I loved them. They were the right color, wood lids, but they were very expensive. So I found a much cheaper alternative and I'm just staining the lids to the color that I need for my specific kitchen to match all of the wood tones that I already have. I'm just using a simple gel stain in the color coffee and then adding these labels to the jar to make them pretty. Now this is where we've had some serious failure in the system. We gotta make that better. One thing that always happens, we love this granola by the way, best granola ever. What happens though is somebody opens a bag of granola and then they open another bag of a different kind and then they open another bag and it's like, how many bags of granola do you need? So we're gonna switch that to one of our jars and make that really easy. Now, like I said at the beginning, one of the main reasons that I wanted to get these pantry staples on the counter is because I am enjoying making homemade bread every week, multiple times a week, and having these things on hand is just so much simpler. It's really about convenience and functionality in the kitchen, so whatever you need at hand is what you would put in jars. Maybe you don't make bread, but you have something else that you want to store on the counter, switch it into clear jars and make it pretty. All right, while my bread rises and the lids dry for my jars, I'm gonna try and rearrange the space. Now, I feel like I can probably accomplish this pretty easily. I'm only adding 4 jars. If you add all of your pantry staples, obviously you would need more space than this. But for my purposes, we use the granola every morning. I use the bread flour and the all-purpose flour for feeding my sourdough, for making bread. This is flax, chia seed, and some other healthy thing mixed together in there. And so I want those things to be out. And I love how the labels are. Those are so cute. I have all like 300 labels that came in that packet that now are gonna head right into my pantry next with you guys. Now I think the easiest thing really is just gonna be removing some of these because they're just decorative. Oh my gosh, this one's so heavy. This, ooh, let's dust first. All right, I'm just gonna swap my onion bowl up to the top. See how that works, and hopefully I don't get moldy onions and not know about it. That was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be. Now look, this is where aesthetics come into something that's very practical. It's also called overthinking, but if you want something to look really pretty and be practical and functional, then this is where my mind goes. We've got 2 of the same color in these jars because they're both flour. Makes sense. But watch what happens if I pop the granola down, contrasting the food, the flour up, contrast with the flax. I like it better. We just gotta get those lids dry. We'll pop that on there, but let's head into the pantry. All right, now my pantry is feeling very bare bones and I need to go grocery shopping. But let me show you the game changer for my particular needs. This is a very cramped space. This is so nice. This, when it's full, is perfect for my kids' snacks. I love these bins specifically. They've got the pull on them, which is very simple, but what I love about them is that when I have regular old food in its container that it came in, what ends up happening is I'll just find a bunch of empty boxes in here that my kids literally ate everything out of and then left. And so as soon as I bring home groceries, I take everything out of the original container and I put it into the appropriate bin. And that way I know, like, we need to stock up on pears and pudding. So we just need to clean this space up a little bit and restock. So this side is my kids' snack pantry, cereals, crackers, snacks. This side is the baking pantry. I have the same thing for this side as well. All the hot chocolate have a bin. My daughter's baking supplies have a bin. She loves all the sprinkles. We got mini marshmallows, food dyes, all the things. They all fit nicely so that she can just grab her bin and she makes whatever she wants. I particularly like the divided ones for things like tea. This is also tea. You know, gravy, taco seasoning, ranch packets, whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat. The pantries that I just showed you are closest to the cooking station. This is on the other side of the kitchen and it's where I store all of our canned goods, dry goods, the little amounts of canning I do. Anybody need some fire cider? And then all of my overstock, things that you don't use every single day, etc. I really love this antique cupboard. I refinished it. I added it to the kitchen. It's over 100 years old and it is so functional. They knew how to do it. Now, one thing that's super simple is adding more of these pantry labels to my already existing containers. I'm not replacing all my containers, that would just be silly. But there are things like baking soda that Addie sometimes gets mixed up with sugar. You can imagine how those baking adventures turn out. So we're gonna label those for her. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Sugar cubes, sugar substitute, stevia. I think we got the sugar covered. I don't know, baking soda. Baking soda should definitely be one. Salt, it is in here. It's just a little one. Baking soda. We'll do another rise while I finish out the pantry. I'll link for you the specific bins that I showed you for our pantry storage. I just find them very convenient, and adding these labels is a game changer. I wish I would have done it many, many years ago. There are over 300 labels in one set, and they had literally everything that I could think of that I would need for my pantry, including all kinds of things that I don't even need a label for, but maybe would be perfect for you. And voila! I honestly thought it was going to be more impactful. It's going to be really impactful for my life because everything is at hand and I'm not having to run all over the place in the middle of cooking, or baking rather, but I thought it would look a lot different. It doesn't look that different. Staining the lid color was definitely the right choice. I have 0 other blonde woods like they were before in this kitchen, and so I didn't go as dark as the shelves. I didn't want them to be that dark, number one, dark woods show dirt faster, and this is flour and, you know, things that will immediately be seen, so I didn't want to go that dark. But this is still the same wood tone as the rest of the wood tones I have in my shelving and in the cutting boards. And then honestly, the label makers, they're what do it for me. That's the aesthetically pleasing part of this. The jars are functional and they're clear so you can see what's in them and how much you have so you know when you need to replenish, but the labels are what make them cute. I also added my coffee to one. They come in 12-ounce bags, and so now I can fit them all into here. Before I was storing them in 2 individual mason jars. Not ideal, it's just what I had on hand, but I really like this ribbed glass. It's so pretty. And let me show you while I'm at it. So this is the kind of coffee I drink. It's called Tyler's Organic Coffee. It's acid free. Let me tell you what, this is not sponsored in any way. I don't work with them. I just discovered it when I started having upset stomach when I was drinking my morning coffee. And so I found this acid free coffee, game changer. No more upset stomach. Might be better on the enamel of my teeth. I don't know. That's not proven. All I know is that it works so much better for me and it's organic. So I'll link it in the description for you below if you're interested or in need of it, but it's a good one. Now I'll let you in on a little secret. There was nothing groundbreaking in this video. I'm sure you already figured that out. As I was doing this, I kept thinking to myself, why am I sharing this? Like, this is normal. Like, people normally put their food into glass jars, and sometimes they label them. Sometimes they organize their pantry with clear divider bins. Like, these are not groundbreaking strategies. But what I love about it is that it is those very small little steps, one on top of the other, that compound together to create the end result of a beautiful, functional kitchen. Sometimes it's not about gutting a kitchen. Sometimes it's not about redoing everything on a shelf. Sometimes it's about saying, what do I need? Okay, I need my bakery staples to be on the counter so that they're easy access and I can just slide them over and slide them back. And then saying, okay, how can I do that in a very pretty or aesthetically pleasing way? Cue the jars and the labels. And then, okay, I ran into an obstacle. The lids that I could find that were affordable jars and not the really outrageously priced jars are the wrong color. So let's do a quick little DIY that took 10 minutes and make them the right color. And it's just those simple, one decision at a time, little teeny steps that people take that compound to create a beautiful and functional kitchen in the end. So even though this was not some gigantic transformation, I hope that you still maybe got some ideas for your own space and that you enjoyed following along on my little afternoon of fun. Thanks for watching. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and stay tuned for more to come. I'll see you next week.